everybody, Mike Pfeiffer with Pfeiffer Hobby Supply. Today I'm going to show you a video of my torch again. No, I'm just kidding. This is going to be update 27. I'm going to show you what I got done. Okay everybody, this is Thursday the 8th of September. You can see that I have some pieces of masonite here that I've cut off, which I may save to do background mountains with, not sure. And I'm going to go inside and show you what I've been up to. Well, this is what I've been up to. As you can see, I have fascia all on. And since I have it all on and I didn't come out here and take any pictures, I'll explain to you how I did it. I estimate my highest point, and I go to Lowe's and they will rip masonite for me, and I have a piece ripped to that height. Then I just start on my stringers and I put a couple of screws in, and as I go I bend it. In the past I have wet the back side of the single finish side 1/8 masonite, but this time I didn't do that, and it was a little harder to bend it in the curves, but it worked. I would recommend wetting it. But anyway, I bend it around, and so when it gets over there where the train's laying on its side, it was about that high. So, and I put it high where I need it, at the approximate height I need it, the strips that I need. Then what I do is I get it on there with like one screw at every post, okay? And get it so it stays in place and where I want it. Then I go on the back side of it, and let me move a drill here. And right there, you can see evidence of it. But where I want the approximate ground level to be, I lean over it on the stool and I mark the back side of it with a grease pencil. You could use a magic marker, you could use anything. And I just get a basic, a random edge is what I get, a random edge. And as you can see, if I stand back here, you can see the depot is going to be raised up about 3/4 of an inch. So I raised up the fascia here about 3/4 of an inch. It's just an approximation, and we'll just make it work to whatever we need it to do. You can see there in the center that I cut it down low, and as I was putting the fascia up, of course the train got knocked over because of the screwing and hammering and pounding. But anyway, as I come around here, I just kind of estimate what I need. And since this is raised up back here, I raise this up out here. And if I make a dip in here and come back out to the edge, it's okay. It doesn't matter. And on these big spaces like this one, which I had a boo-boo here, had to make this a little more gradual of a bend, especially since the seam was right on the bend, which I never want to do, but it just happened. I'll fill that in with newspaper, crumpled up newspaper, and I'll put the scenery material right on top of it to keep it from falling down through. Same thing with all the edging here. Now, when it gets into the city area here, of course, we wanted it down almost level with the city area. Then I had this weird thought, you know, I had a stream on the other layout, and I'm thinking I'll just put a stream in here somewhere, and whatever way it goes and comes down here, this is where it'll come out, right here. Then it comes back up, it's relatively level across here, a little randomness going on. Now as we get over here, our elevation is going to be way up there, so I started raising it up some. Not a whole lot, but some raised portions, some lower portions, because the scenery will have to come down from here somehow. And I'm not, pardon me, too much dust from the masonite. But anyway, I raised it up so that I can make a decision as to how I'm gonna do that. And I'm thinking about bringing the town up here. In other words, have a road coming up and have these buildings and structures here elevated up a little bit to this level that'll be a slight slope down from here. Maybe a little hill in the background here, just a little bit to hide the track a little. You know, I just don't know. It's freeform. So it'll be what it's going to be. So it comes around here, it's almost level because this is going to have to be pretty solid scenery right in here, because the tunnel portal will probably go right in here somewhere, probably right in here. Then that means that ground contour will come down to here. This will be open. This will come back up. Another tunnel portal over in here somewhere, probably back in here a little bit. And I'll probably slope this edge back in here, because I need to have the tunnel portal back in here somewhere. So that'll all kind of slope. Anyway, you get the idea. Over here, this is where I knew I was going to have a canyon for the two bridges, so I cut it down to accept the canyon. And then I knew that the mountain was going to go back on up, back here towards the top, so I just randomly cut that. So you get the idea. Now, I told you how I do it. I mark it, then I take it all back off, which seems like monumental, but it's not too bad. When you get ready to put it back on, you pick a midpoint in the sheet, which this one would be right here, and you put your screw back through the original hole, and then you look down through there until you can align that screw with the hole you had already made when you put it up initially, before it was cut. When it's cut, it's much easier to bend and much lighter than before you cut it, so it's a lot easier to do. And I put a screw in the middle, and then I work my way towards each end as I go. And when I come to a seam like this, I try and get the seam taken care of before I do too much of these in here, okay? In other words, I do that one first, I do these out here, and then I do the ones in the middle, which, if you get these correct and those correct, these should be lined up, except for being able to lift it up and down just a little bit. So anyway, that's how I do it. I don't want to go on and on. I went today and bought a little orbital hand sander, and that made sanding the surface of the masonite much easier. It's already done, it's ready to paint. I also remembered to mark and cut a hole for the DVD player. I built a shelf. I don't know if it's here. It's here, but I've made two templates out of this piece of paper. But that template was the template that I made underneath to cut out and make that shelf that the DVD player sits on. Then I made another template and cut it out of there to make these so that I can cut my holes for my UP5s to fit into. And there's the second one, and here is the template all ready to, and I've already marked that one, but I didn't take the template off so I could show you the template. And I just it doesn't matter where they're located. I just decided to put them way down towards the bottom, because I learned my lesson on the last layout to put the holders for the throttles way down low. That way you don't have the top of the throttle sticking up in all your videos and pictures that you take of your layout. So there we go. By the way, this is a little additional tool I made. Hold on. This is a little additional tool I made when I bend it around corners, like say I start in that corner there and I take my head and I shove that in. I screw this up underneath here to hold the end of the, or to hold this portion of the sheet up. Then I have a, hang on a minute, let me get out here. I have a roller right here that's designed for the table saw, and I lay the other end of the masonite on top of that to keep it up off the ground. But anyway, that's about all I have to show you until I cut the holes in there, get it painted, and put the UP5 panels in. Okay, gang, I'm a little out of breath because I just got done throwing a bunch of wood and tools and stuff in here because I didn't get done in time. It's about 8 o'clock and it's dark, getting dark. But this is Thursday again. But you already seen the fascia, but I wanted you to see my other project. I got my little table built for the spray booth, and it'll work fine. I'm going to hook some, I'm actually going to run it out the back side of the shed here. And I'm going to hook some flexible 4-inch tubing to it and put the vent on the back wall back there. But I think that this will work out, and I have room for the compressor on the right hand side over there, and I cut that angle on it so that when you're walking in here you don't walk into the corner of it. And I think hang on, let me get over here. I think it blends in pretty well, if you see it there. Not a perfect piece of wood, but I don't really care. I'm going to paint it anyways. But I guess all my measuring twice and cutting once must have worked. The only thing I had to do, I had to trim off the bottom of the fascia there, and then I dropped it back down, which is okay. And I will probably wind up folding this up when I'm not using it. You know, I'll leave it sitting here, but I'll probably fold it up. Then I can put trains and crap on here when I'm working. Okay gang, it's Friday afternoon and I did some painting. I have the fascia painted all the way around. And I have all my holes cut for my UP5s. And I have my painting table painted. So I'm making progress. What you see in wood there is going to be painted black. In fact, I'm going to paint all that, the front of all that L girder black. I think I covered that. I think I'm going to move that over there. Got quite a few more things to do, but I made a lot of progress. I cleaned up the room too, if you notice. I picked up all the stuff off the floor, got some wood outside. All these screws and stuff go out in the garage for right now. Pretty much cleaned up in here. I have not cleaned the track and I have not cleaned the top of the board, but I'll get there. Anyway, Friday afternoon, I'll probably work on it when I come out from dinner tonight. Don't know exactly what I'll do, but we'll do something. Okay, what I'm going to show you here is I got a big mess. I have all my rolling carts over here. And why? Hang on. Because over here I got all the fascia on and got it painted. All the way around. And I got all my UP5s attached all the way around. That's why they're all out of there, because I had a lot of wiring to do under there. You can see that my table is complete and I have it painted. Have my compressor up there, have the box up there, have some airbrushes there. I have a whole nother box of airbrushes. You can see that I put in a 110 box down here so that I have access to it right here on the corner of the layout. Hung my Harbor Freight airbrush there, which by the way works pretty well. Painted the inside of the DVD compartment black. Painted all the underside of the L girders black. Painted the leg attached to that black, which required loosening that up and moving it out of there, which was another pain in the neck. One thing I have not done is this wire comes off of my PSXR DCC Specialties, but I do have my red and green light here. It's just a matter of tying them up to the correct wires here and then drilling a couple of holes. That's all there is to it. Let's see. We can take a picture of the fascia going around here. And I had to run I don't know if you guys are familiar, but on the UP5s you have to run a pair of wires around that attach to your rail A and rail B to give you the track status, what the track status is. And I have 3 in here because I never know where I'm going to be standing. So I may be standing there, or I may be standing over here. I did not put one where it's real skinny, and you can see that, oh, I'm having to bend around in a circle. You can see that I have one way over there off to the side, which is probably the one I will use the most in most cases. I still have things to hang up. I still have lightning and thunder. I have the speaker for the birds chirping. You guys have probably missed that and you didn't even realize it. But that's got a plug on it, and the DVD or the CD player is here somewhere. All I got to do is hook it up somewhere. Another thing I've done, and I'll get under here. I mean, all this stuff I've been doing is crawling around on my hands and knees. Got my light hanging, got it plugged into the circuit that goes around, and the railroad switch way down there on the end turns all of this off. I have two power strips here simply because this is kind of where the town area is, and I'm not going to go over there, but I have another one on the back side of that board over there because I'm assuming that we're going to need a lot of power supplies for lights and so forth in the town area. These are the rail A and B wires that go around and attach to the back of the UP5s. I don't know what else I can tell you. Let me think of something. Well, I couldn't really think of anything. The track and everything is real dirty. You can see that the locomotive light is on because the track power is on. I need to put up my holders for my throttles and that kind of stuff. Not too worried about that. That's an easy job, 5-minute job. I don't know what else I can tell you. Oh, I know what I can tell you. This is the bench. The little stool fits under there that I have. The little one with the flames on it over there fits under there. And that's probably where it'll live. But then I have two folding chairs. I think I've mentioned them before. You guys have seen them, I believe. And I'm going to leave them propped up in here somewhere, but it'll also fit under there so that I can work there. I have not yet... Well, let me get under here. Hold on, bear with me. Oh, my old knees. I'd like to have some new ones. Anyway, you can see the back of this. I know that there's some that you can buy that same booth on Amazon and so forth. But I'm going to build something on the back of there to collect air. It's going to go over to the wall, along the wall, and then come back out just slightly, and then go out the back wall of the shed and have a flapper on it. To me, that makes the most sense, most logical thing. If I let this focus, I think I mentioned that I have a Wi-Fi extender out here because my Google Nest wouldn't play music for me because it was too far away and I couldn't get my TV to respond to the Wi-Fi. So anyways, let me show you the other thing that I thought of. Not a big deal. Okay, here's just some of the other stuff that has to go over here near where the airbrush and the box are. Those are just obviously just stands and carousels for painting stuff in there. I'll figure out where to put them. Got a bunch of extra filters, and that box, that skill box there, is full of disrepair airbrushes. So anyway, I got to figure out how to get that in here, get that container out of here, and we're just going to keep working. Well, everybody, that's update 27, and thanks for watching.